welcome back to the Man Cave Podcast. This is the Badass or Bust segment. I'm going to get into it. Week 16, I ended up taking Jalen Hurts to be a badass. He played pretty good. He did his part. He did what he had to despite having a interception. I'm still going to have to say it, man. He was a badass. Dude, he played his heart out there. He does every single week, so I'm going to have to give it to him. And Justin Herbert, I ended up taking also to be a badass. He got the W. He had a good game. He did his part. He made sure that, his team ended up getting the W. So I'm going to have to give it to you, man. You were a badass. Josh Allen, I took you also to be a badass. Even though you're going up against your arch rivalry and the Patriots, you went out there, you did your thing. You ended up making sure that you got the W. You, sir, are a badass. I took Giovanni Bernard to be a bust, and he ended up proving me wrong. He had 131 total yards through the air and on the ground. He ended up picking up a couple key first downs, moved the chains. He did his part, so you proved me wrong, buddy. You're a badass. I also took Dalvin Cook because I thought that Saints defensive line would slow him down and make that game very difficult, even though you ended up getting spanked. You, sir, were a badass. You picked up a couple key first downs. You had 4.1 yards average, and you had a touchdown. So you, sir, are a badass. Phillip Rivers, I took you to be a bust. Despite having some good stats, you had some very, very tough turnovers. You had that fumble that ended up turning into points, and you threw that game-ending interception. So you, sir, I'm sorry. You are the reason that you lost. So you are a bust. Now, since Dan's not here again, I'm going to have to pick up the slack, do the badass or bust for week 17. I'm taking Big Ben. Sir, this is going to be a rough one for all of you Steelers fans to swallow. I'm taking you to be a bust. I'm saying, you're going up against the Browns. They took that tough loss against the Jets. Division rivalry games in the last week are always tough. I don't care who they are. You can be going up against whoever. A team that's 0-15, and it's going to be a tough one. Josh Allen, you're playing like an MVP. Everything's clicking for you. Everybody's healthy so far. So, you, sir, are going to be a badass. Myles Garrett. Myles is going to cause some chaos in the run. Since there is no run, he's going to slow them down. He's going to be in Big Ben's face all game. So I'm taking you to be a badass. You're going to be a big reason why, in my opinion, that the Steelers are going to lose. Kyler Murray, I'm saying this. You're going to be a bust. It's going to be a big game against the Rams. It's going to be a long day, in my opinion. I know that you got a really good receiver on your side for you to end up throwing it to with Hopkins. But I think that the Rams are going to step it up. I think that Aaron Donald's going to be in your face. And I think that it's going to be a rough one. Danny Dimes, despite you going out there and dropping pennies against the Ravens, you're going up against the Cowboys. And I think that the Cowboys are going to roll. And I think that you are going to be a bust. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is going to seal it up. He's going to deliver it for him not to only be the number 1 seed in the NFC, but also to be 2020's MVP. Take that, Dan. Take that. You and Russell Wilson can get out of here with all that MVP talk. Take it, Dan. Take it. Anyways, I'm going to move on to the pick 5 for last week. I ended up having the Giants and the Ravens. I picked it to be 30-10. It was kind of close to that. You take 3 points away from what I did and you give it to the Giants, and that's what the score was, 27-13 Baltimore. I took the Buccaneers and Lions. I took the Buccaneers, taking that 30-14. It was 47-7 Buccaneers. I had the Bengals and the Texans. I took the Texans to win that 20-17. It was more like 37-31. The Bengals ended up winning that. I took the Broncos versus the Chargers. The Chargers, I had winning that 24-17. And the Chargers ended up winning 19-16. Then I took Philly and the Cowboys. I took Philly to win that 32-20. And it was more like 37-17. Dallas ended up winning. So, all year so far, I got 32 total wins. I went 3 for 5 this week. Now, with these next ones, that's all I'm going to end up having for this segment. And I'm taking week 17, the final week of the NFL season, regular season. I'm taking Dallas and the Giants. I'm taking Dallas to win that 30-20. I'm taking Baltimore versus Cincinnati, 28-17. I'm taking the football team and the Eagles. I'm taking the football team to win that 20-17. Then I got Saints versus Carolina. I'm taking the Saints to win that 35-30 or to 24. And I'm taking the Packers and the Bears. Packers will end up winning that 40-28. There is no Friday night game. There is no Thursday night game. There's a couple games on Saturday. There's a couple games on Sunday. So we'll see how all that ends up going. We'll end up getting this final go around. And who knows? We might end up doing some playoff reviews come next week. We'll see what's going on. We might end up talking some NBA talk. We might end up doing some UFC or something like that. Who knows? Whatever Dan wants to do. If he ends up coming back next week, he says that he is. So we'll just see how everything goes. I hope y'all appreciate, or I appreciate y'all watching this. I hope y'all end up liking, commenting, subscribing on YouTube. Like, comment, share our shit on Facebook. Let me know. Tell me I suck. Tell me Dan needs to hurry up and get his ass back here. We'll see how everything goes, man. Appreciate it. Peace.